connecting to the real nerds is so easy. You can go to our website, realnerdspodcast.com. You can like us on Facebook. We have a Twitter account, @RealNerds. We also have Instagram. You can call us, 720-6nerds5. You want to email us? You can do that too, realnerds@gmail.com. Thanks for listening, and enjoy the show. Welcome to Real Nerds Podcast, unofficially the official podcast at Denver Comic-Con 2017 and beyond. I am Ryan, and back with the original crew of
Brad
and
James.
Every week on Real Nerds Podcast, we go see a new movie and we podcast our experience to the world. This week, we saw a remake of a remake, The Magnificent Seven.
Yep.
Stay tuned to the end of the show where we will review the movie and also spoil it for you. And we also talk about other things like stuff we've been watching, movie news, stuff that's coming out on Blu-ray. And we also do things that happen around town. Brad, what's happening around town?
Not much going on this week. The midnight movie at the Esquire is Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn.
That's right.
And then
Why do you hate the subtitle Dead by Dawn?
Because it's not a real subtitle.
Oh, okay. It was like the tagline.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fair.
And then the drive-in has changed it up. It is now Storks, Sully, and Sausage Party, which I just want to drive by the drive-in when they're playing Sausage Party, just to like.
Oh, yeah. Well, especially it's like, hey, kids, it's 2 animated films tonight and a movie about a plane crash. Like,
Wait, it's Storks and Sausage Party?
yeah.
It's Storks, Sully, and then Sausage Party.
That's
But
pretty awesome.
Yeah.
can you imagine just driving down the road without the sound? And you just see, like, all these food items fucking each other.
Oh, that's right.
Spoilers. Spoilers.
The orgy scene at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can imagine it. Yeah.
Yep.
But,
But that's it.
That's
it
cool.
for this week. That's what's going on.
oh, hey, Ryan, your wife successfully got all the toys moved into this room.
No,
I'm
I
sorry,
did it.
action figures
I did
for
that.
collection promotion.
Hey, you want to know how long that fucking takes?
I-
5 fucking hours.
I bet, yeah.
And then I got it all set up, and then my wife says, "Oh, Kellen was shaking it." So if you notice, all the Spider-Man figures have fallen and are pressed against the door now. So when I
Yes.
open the door, they're all going to fall out, and it's going to drive me crazy.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And guess how much my wife cares? She doesn't care at all.
Yeah. Well, that's true.
Hey, at least it's meditative, right?
Yes.
Setting them all back up patiently.
Yeah, it's
I'm
quite
sure it's
ours.
very cathartic. Yeah.
great.
You just get to think about your existence. And
Well, I was like, I'll put them out and I'll line them up. So, Spider-Man's on top. Then I have a Green Goblin shelf. Sometimes they all don't fit on there because they all have Goblin gliders.
you should just get those. Jesse has these like plastic stands that like it creates a base, but then has like an arm that comes up and clips to their waist.
I know, I need to get those. I should ask him where he gets those. Probably just off Amazon.
Online. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, I need to do that.
Cool. What else?
Henry wrote in with a new art house asshole.
Cool.
You mean he called in?
He wrote and called in.
Very well, he wrote, but not in, and then he called in.
He wrote an article and then he called in to
Yeah.
promote the article.
I always go read his articles. They're fantastic.
But anyway, you can listen to it right now.
Oh, didn't we already do it?
That's the intro.
Oh, okay.
Did you guys hear the intro from last week?
I actually haven't yet. No. Is it good? Are you proud?
I think it's hilarious.
It's
Okay.
adequate.
Great. Cool.
Henry claims that he'll probably change it once he gets back in town.
Oh yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. I mean, yeah, because
We'll
we
see.
need one like with his voice. That's like, hey, I'm Henry.
Wait, what?
I don't know. I don't know why he turned into like a surfer version of Bruce Willis.
I know.
Hey, I'm Henry.
I'm Henry, guys.
I'm just hanging out watching some movies.
That's what I do.
Anyway, we should probably play his actual article thingy.
Probably. I love art house movies. You can call me Mr. Asshole.
What's up, Real Nerds? It's Henry, and giving you another update on Art House Asshole. If it's super echoey right now, it's because I'm in a friend's bathroom recording this, so sorry about that. Couldn't find anywhere else in New York City that's quiet at the moment. This week's episode is on Blue is the Warmest Color. If you've been listening to the podcast enough with me on it, I've probably mentioned it a few times, so that's neat. It's a very fantastic romance film. I think it's specifically about a lesbian couple, but I think it's honestly one of the best romance films regardless of sexual orientation. It's currently on Netflix, so if you want to check it out, go watch it there, or you can just read my review, which is on realnerdspodcast.com. You can read all about it, then decide for yourself if you want to watch it there. In regards to last week's episode, not Blue is the Warmest Color, White Girl. White Girl is now showing in Denver at the Sea Film Center. So if you liked my review and thought, maybe that's for me, well, you can go see it at the Sea Film Center right now. I checked just this morning. I think it's still there. Anyway, I hope you guys like the review, and I hope you guys go and watch and enjoy Blue is the Warmest Color. Bye.
Awesome. Thanks, Henry. Always good to hear from that kid.
Always.
Glad that he is in doing well.
Hey, he's taking some nice pictures in good old NYC.
Yeah.
That's what the kids call New York, guys.
Oh, do they?
Yes.
Great.
Are you stalling for the Alamo stuff?
Yeah, he's totally
Fuck
stalling.
yeah, I am.
It's like, if you're wondering why Ryan is not really talking into the mic, it's because
I am talking into the mic.
stalling.
You're just not listening to me.
Great.
On Tuesday, they have the Hitch Cocktails is The Trouble with Harry.
Cock.
Wow.
Also, Wild at Heart is playing.
That's a terrible movie.
It is.
Man.
The Graveyard Shift is Perfume.
That's a good
heard of
movie.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm not aware of that movie.
The Late Show is called Lost Highway.
Cool. I mean, that's a David Lynch film, so it's a piece of shit.
The PBS Kids Hour is Peg and Cat Mystery. And there's also My King is playing on Thursday. Or you can see an advanced screening of Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children.
Oh, okay, cool.
Tim Burton, or what I like to call the movie's version of Hot Topic.
To be fair, Hot Topic stole from him. So.
Yeah, and he's like, I make movies, so I'm going to make them like dark, but not really dark.
Hey, Ed Wood's really good.
Yeah, it's not a dark movie, though.
No, if I'm just saying, Ed Wood is really good.
Not dark, it's in black and white.
You can also catch Beetlejuice twice on Saturday at 5:30 and at 8 o'clock.
Cool.
And on Sunday, the Weird Al Sing-Along is the special one. So,
Oh, neat.
got
Is it
stuff
just a
that's
whole
on.
bunch of Weird Al songs?
Hopefully
Like
it's the
music
videos, because his videos are
Oh,
brilliant.
well, yeah. That's what I didn't mean just like, oh, yeah, it's the songs, and then the screen is blank.
With the big A symbol moving
Yes.
back and forth.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, is that really moving back and forth, or am I just like going crazy?
What, the Alamo symbol?
Yeah.
It's not moving.
It's not?
No.
Doesn't it move at the end where it's like, whoosh?
Oh.
I'm pretty sure it does.
No, I used to have a brain tumor.
Yes, it does. Yes. It does zoom at you.
Hi, dude.
Are you guys going to the Indiana Jones trilogy tomorrow?
No.
No, I'm my little boy. My wife works from 8 to 8, so I can't do shit.
Fine.
Yeah.
Except I could go to see the new exhibit at the Denver Museum called Extreme Mammals.
I've heard about that.
I know it's put on. It's co-sponsored by Colorado State University,
Cool.
so it's probably like mediocre.
It's probably great, and it actually gives you an education about things. You know,
or mediocre.
It's not just there for like kids to hang out and drink beer. Like it's actually like for educational purposes.
No, that's good.
Cool.
This is the movie news of the week.
It's real news. A lot less cram-packed than last week. The director of LA Confidential, Curtis Hanson, died this week at 71. So 71 is pretty good. So good for him. That guy was cool. And
The dude who played Joe Roberts in the Spider-Man movies, he also passed away.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wait,
I
is
think
that
just today?
Oh, okay. Because C. Martin Croker, who played the voice of Space Ghost on Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
No.
What?
He did.
Sorry. Yeah, he did Zorak and he
Zorak.
did Moltar. Sorry, that's right. He didn't do Space Ghost. But he was also like a co-creator on that show.
Remember when
So-
Adult Swim had cool shows like that and Aqua Teen Hunger Force on?
Hey, it still has some cool shows.
Yeah, I mean Aqua Teen Hunger Force is still on there.
Yeah,
No,
well,
they
Rick
ended,
and
last year.
Rick and Morty is on Adult Swim.
Callan.
That show is great.
Thank you.
But yeah. Oh yeah, Aqua Teen Hunger Force is over, but it's been over before. It'll come back. It's been canceled like 4 times. So anyway,
If you can't tell, my kid is very tired.
yeah, he's having a hard time.
I've been up for 30 hours. You don't see me whining like a
Look
little
at how
bitch.
Look at how badass his T-Rex shirt is, man.
I know. They don't make those for, like, men. And
No,
it
I
really is-
totally want one.
The only T-Rex shirts I go to $6t-shirts.com.
Okay.
And about once every couple months, they have a new T-Rex one. So I have one that says licensed to carry small arms, and it's a T-Rex license.
Well, this one's cool because it's got like the teeth and the eyes are textured. Like it's just a badass T-Rex.
You know,
It's
if
like
he,
my
if he
shirt's gonna eat
misbehaves,
you.
you should just cut that out and then sew it onto your own shirt and wear it in front of him.
Like, this is what you get.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got some like not really teaser trailer clips from Ghost in the Shell that I think would look really cool. Brad, what do you think of them?
It doesn't feel cyborgy. Like the kind of cyborg style I would want out of this movie is more like Ex Machina. But it
Sure.
really just seems like everyone's dressed up in Ghost in the Shell cosplay.
I think that's probably
far.
fair. Hey, dog, cut it out.
You know, it's like 5 short 30-second clips, so there's not much to judge yet.
Oh,
When does it come out? Like, next July or something?
March?
Yeah,
March?
2017. Yeah.
They still have a long ways to go.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it looks cool. I think it looks like it's a sci-fi action movie, which so does the trailer for Passengers.
I think it looks awesome.
Yeah. Only problem is that trailer has one major flaw, which is they should not have included his line of dialogue at the end, where he says like, "There's a reason we're awake." Fuck you. Like you just made a really great trailer that reminds me of like Sunshine and
I know
you
there's,
know.
there's 2 shots in the trailer I love. There's a shot where him and Jennifer Lawrence walk out, and you can see like the ship like spinning.
Yes.
And they're like walking on it looks like a bridge. And then when Michael Sheen, like bartender goes crazy and he smashes his head and like,
Yes.
oh, what the fuck's going on?
Oh yeah, like it's such a great trailer, but I think that they got terrified that they had a big budget sci-fi movie releasing at Christmas, and they were like, well, we need to get the normal people in here, so add a line of dialogue where they explain that like it's probably a love story or some shit. But I just found that disappointing because they didn't need that, like they already had me, but still a cool looking trailer. What is the other thing? Todd McFarlane says they're making a Spawn movie.
And no one cares.
Ryan, I'm sure you're excited. You love Spawn.
It's funny. When I put out that list, someone told me that Spawn is not the worst comic book movie of all time, and I said, "Au contraire."
What did they argue was?
I don't remember, but
I feel like you have to like make an argument for what is the
yeah. In so much that it doesn't make any sense, and the CGI is horrible. Like even in 1997, I was thinking, man, this is bad CGI.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know,
And the very last and probably most awesome piece of news is that Hitler's going to be in the next Transformers movie. So that's cool. I don't know if you guys saw that, but they're filming at Winston Churchill's old house, and they're filming like a Nazi invasion at his house for the Transformers movie. And they have said that Nazis and Hitler will be in that movie. Of
course.
So what the fuck? But I think it's amazing. I'll see whatever. Now, if you're telling me now that like robots turn into cars and then fight Hitler, that sounds like the greatest pitch for a schlocky movie I've ever heard.
So they're in medieval times and World War II?
Yes, I think they are time traveling Autobots. It's
right.
it's exactly like that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie you
a
love.
kid in
What, the third
King
one?
Arthur's court.
Yeah, it's exactly like the end, the middle part of the
King
first season of
Arthur's Court.
Heroes. Everybody loves when Heroes goes to feudal Japan. We all know that's when that show got great.
We don't even know what you're talking about.
Oh, that's when that show jumped the shark and became garbage.
Hey, James, describe the saying "jump the shark." Where did that come from?
It came from Happy Days in an episode later on in that show where the Fonz jumps over a shark. And the argument is that everything after that, that was the first sign of that show going downhill. Like that's sort of the art, that was the time where they did a thing that then after that, like they couldn't go back. You couldn't unjump the shark. So why did you ask me that?
I was informing our listeners. I
I wasn't sure if
anybody else knew.
you were like testing my knowledge and be like,
Maybe
James
I was
uses that
too.
phrase. He don't know shit about jumping sharks. He's too young. He wasn't there, man. He doesn't remember, man.
You don't know what it was like to punch a jukebox and the hero
You
song
saw-
come out.
You don't know what it was like to watch your hero jump a shark, man.
The fonts.
Yeah. Anyway,
We're also interested in purchasing movies. This is what's coming out on Blu-ray next week in a segment we call "This is what's coming out on Blu-ray next week."
DVD releases and Blu-rays. Well, this week we might just call the segment disappointing. Warcraft is coming out on 4K and Blu-ray this week.
I'll watch it.
Oh yeah, you didn't get a chance. I need other people to watch it because it's not good, but I need other people to tell me that it's complete garbage or something. Like I don't know. You know, I can't measure
you
that
can let
movie
go.
fairly. Yeah, so that I can let go. Letting go is also what I did about the beginning of the third act of The Shallows when that movie stopped being any good. And you can buy
need to
that
see
on
that
Blu-ray
one,
this
too.
week. What?
I need to see that one too.
Yeah, you should check it out. If only just to watch like a camera worship Blake Lively for 2 hours. Like, you know.
I looked into the Blue where it worshipped Paul Walker.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Into the Blue is a way better movie than The Shallows. Into the Blue is a fun adventure
I don't
movie.
know. I got it on Blu-ray for like $2, and I still haven't
yeah, me
watched
too.
it yet. So
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, you should watch it. Do you know Josh Brolin is in that movie?
he is.
You need to watch the Into the Blue. Into the Blue is way better than it has any right to be.
I
Like,
remember watching it, but I don't remember a thing about it. I know they're like treasure hunters or something.
Yes, right. And then everything goes wrong. Like it's a cool adventure movie. If that movie had like Matthew McConaughey and Amy Adams in it, that would be a really great movie. I think I just described Fool's Gold, so maybe I'm wrong, but still.
That was like Kate Hudson in Fool's Gold.
Yeah, sure. They're all the same, right?
Just like that Deepwater Horizon. Every time I see it, I'm like, oh, here's them trying to make me care about Mark Wahlberg's character.
oh, dude. But if you think that
we got
movie
a
is
transformer.
if you think that movie is manipulative, you should see the trailer for Billy Lynn's
Oh,
The
my God.
Long Hard Walk of Shame, or whatever the hell the title of that movie is. Ang Lee needs to go home. That thing looks like it's made out of plastic and tinfoil. It is such a terribly shot film, and it is so
Shot at
manipulative.
140 frames. or 120 or something.
It looks god awful. Remember how bad Life of Pi looked? All of that like fake CGI stuff everywhere.
that one of best visual effects I did.
Yeah. That movie looked terrible. This is if he went and used all of that CGI money to make just the normal world, like where you could just go film this stuff. Like, it's terrible. Anyway, not terrible is The Rock, and the unrated cut of Central Intelligence is out this week.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to see it. You know, I'll give Kevin Hart some more chances. What Henry argued was either the worst or the second worst film of the year so far, Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates, is out this week, which is too bad because I like Anna Kendrick.
It was fun.
Yeah, you liked it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool. Season 5 of Grimm is on Blu-ray. You've got An American Werewolf in London is getting a Blu-ray release this
I
week.
think the cover's badass, but
Oh,
I think
yeah.
it's just a slipcover over the old one.
I was just going to say,
It
I
has like
can't-
one other
It says
special
it's
feature.
the restored cut. Which
Uh,
I didn't
see-
realize it was broken.
When I hear stuff like that, that means they just went up and cleaned the one I already have on Blu-ray, and it makes me
Yeah.
want to buy it because I think the cover's really cool, but I
Right.
already own it. The
Right.
movie's great. If you've never seen American Werewolf in London, you should.
Yeah. The Neon Demon, for me, is the big release. That's totally a movie that people should check out.
Are you going to get it, James?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll borrow it from you.
I'll hook you up. Don't worry.
Thanks.
I'm gonna get it, but I'm gonna try and replace the cover art.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They totally used the wrong cover art. I mean, none of the art for that, like none of the posters for that were great. But
Yeah.
Chopping Mall.
I have that coming.
What is this new thing?
So it's so
Vestron Video.
I'm surprised you don't know this, James. So
No.
Blockbuster used to have in like, I guess it's the early '90s. They were still.
I wasn't born yet.
I know, but they still had them at Blockbuster, and Vestron was like an offshoot of Trimark, which did such
Oh.
favorites as The Leprechaun.
Yeah.
And so they made these movies that were just like schlocky horror films.
Okay.
So, right up my alley, and those are the movies I would rent. And Chopping Mall, for our listeners out there, its original name was called Killbots, and it takes place in a mall where the security guards are robots, and then they have a malfunction from a lightning bolt, and they turn into like killer robots.
That sounds great.
Yep, and I think the cover art looks awesome.
Wait.
Yeah.
You're in a mall and they make the security guards the robots, like
Yeah.
because they get struck by lightning. Like striking lightning on a mannequin would be way better for that.
Whoa, write that down.
Copyright Real Nerds Podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know who should get to play the mannequin? Kim Cattrall.
Totally.
Oh, she'd be great as a mannequin. The tagline is "Where shopping costs an arm and a leg," which is all
The
right.
cool android arm that's holding the shopping bag
Yes.
doesn't exist in the movie.
Oh man.
They look like what's the name of the Doctor Who robots?
Daleks.
The Daleks?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what they look like.
Oh, okay. Wait, they look like this. The Daleks or the Cybermen? Are you talking about the guys who look like human beings
No.
but they're robots? Okay.
They look like carts.
Sure.
If I remember the movie right, I might be remembering it wrong, but I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure it's a lightning bolt that makes the robots killer.
So the Bill and Ted's Most Excellent Collection from Shout Select is out this week.
When's the last time you watched Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure?
A very, very long time.
I'm pretty sure they say "dude" 700 times.
I watched it.
I bet I say do it 700 times.
Oh, yeah.
Does it hold up? Is it still good?
I think I just watched Bogus Journey, and it was just kind of
Yeah.
like, what is this?
But if you like it, it's a part of the Shout Select series,
Yeah.
and you get both movies, and it comes with like Wild Stallion guitar picks. So
Okay. Cool. Blood Diner is also coming from
yeah, I
the
have that coming too.
the Vetron collection.
You know, they're playing that at the Alamo.
Are they really?
Oh yeah, I saw that today.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
some as the director, maybe. I don't know.
I don't remember.
Someone from the film's going to be there.
So yeah, I'm excited because this Vestron is like the cheap knockoff of the Scream Factory stuff.
Yeah.
but they have a lot of stuff coming out for it, and those movies, some of them are pretty good, and some of them are pretty garbage. But
Yeah.
it takes me back to a simpler time.
But again, I really like this poster where it's the standee in front of a diner. The tagline is "First they greet you, then they eat you."
Ooh, it sounds like a cannibal film.
Who could have seen that coming? Yeah, I don't know. Something about that, like that
In
neon
Blood
signage.
Diner, food eats you.
So the Criterion has a couple movies coming out this week. One is Decalogue. Don't know what that is. And then they also have the Valley of the Dolls getting a Blu-ray release this week. Let me see. Is Beyond the also Beyond the Valley of the Dolls is also Criterion. So if you want to check those out, Highlanders getting a 30th anniversary Blu-ray edition. I might pick this up. I haven't seen Highlander in a really long time. That movie has a special place in my heart for things that should be amazing but probably aren't actually anymore. The 4th season of Ripper Street for the British folk. Cell, the most forgotten Samuel L. Jackson movie of all time.
Based on a Stephen King film.
From this year. Based on the novel by Stephen King.
Novel, I mean.
Let's see, which one do I want to do first? Okay, H.G. Wells' The Shape of Things to Come, which has got a pretty badass poster with a whole bunch of robots and people running. I don't think this is from anyone special. It's a Plus Underground or something. Anyway, it's a cool cover, so you could get that. But the real winner this week is Slugs
Oh, that's
from
Arrow.
Arrow.
I think the cover is badass.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. So basically, picture a man who he's taking off his shirt, but it actually looks like he's ripping off his own skin because then underneath he's got all these like leech-sized slugs that are eating away at his flesh, and he's just screaming, and that's the whole thing. And then you've got like this weird the font of slugs is like a slug trail. So it's like cursive, but it's supposed to be like, because the slugs leave a trail of blood behind them.
Yes.
Arrow
does a really good job on their Blu-rays for the goofy movies they make. But,
Yeah.
Question: is this the Night of the Creeps knockoff?
Maybe.
I have no idea.
It's like a really nice Blu-ray. I mean, it has an okay one, but the cover art's awful.
Have any of us? You haven't seen Slugs, have you?
No.
Oh, okay.
So you remember the one last week from Arrow that was like Drive-In of Death or something?
Yeah.
Dead End Drive-In.
It's like a Mad Max movie.
Oh, what?
I was reading like a review on Blu-ray.com, and it's like Mad Max cannibal kind of movie, or not? Maybe not cannibal.
no. We read the
Yeah.
premise on the show last week. Yeah.
But Blu-ray.com gave it a good review.
Cool.
Not the movie, but the Blu-ray.
The Blu-ray. They were like, hey, the special features in here are really informative about this piece of shit film you could buy.
Sounds a lot like Blood Rage,
Yeah. Oh boy.
which I do own.
Oh man. After months of waiting,
I know. How long did I pre-order that? I pre-ordered like 6 months.
it was a while.
It took forever to
I think
come
we
out.
read it 3 times on
I'm
the
pretty
show.
sure we did.
Yeah. So anyway, that is what's coming out on Blu-ray.
Wow,
this
moving right along this week.
week. We are. Yeah. Who gives a shit about this podcast? Let's move along.
This is stuff we've been watching.
So, yeah, this is the stuff we've been watching.
I watch only two things this week. My little boy is in love with dinosaurs right now.
This is a crazy
Why don't
story.
you marry them?
This is a crazy story.
So he kept on saying he wanted to watch dinosaurs.
So you showed him Disney's Dinosaurs.
No.
Okay, so you showed him The Land Before Time, which is a
No.
fantastic film.
Show him The Good Dinosaur.
He's seen The Good
Oh,
Dinosaur.
yeah, you showed him The Good Dinosaur.
He really
oh,
likes-
that's- Oh, great.
The Good Dinosaur, but I'm like, that's not a dinosaur movie.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, no, it is.
So
It's totally a
I
dinosaur
put
movie.
in Jurassic Park,
You're an insane person.
and
Awesome.
he was watching it. So the opening when the raptor attacks,
And now he doesn't like dinosaurs anymore.
no, he paid attention, and then it gets. I mean, the parts that I love that he doesn't care about.
Where they're eating ice cream.
Yeah, and
talking
he's
about-
like, yeah. One of my favorite moments is when Dr. Grant is walking up and he's like, "Kids smell. They don't smell. Some kids smell." I just love the way that line's delivered.
baby smell.
And so he started getting bored. But then when they got to the part where Dr. Sadler says, "This isn't right. This plant's been extinct for millions of years," and she, the head turns and then the music starts swelling. Kellen just gets fixated on it and he gets excited.
Like he
and
knew something was coming.
Yeah, and he said-
then dinosaurs
he saw
happened.
dinosaurs, and then the T-Rex attacked, and all he did was roar like the T-Rex. And he really liked it. So he watched it and was okay.
Yeah.
And he didn't wake up screaming in the middle of the night, so I guess he wasn't too scared.
All right. Okay.
And you can see he's
Well,
rocking a T-Rex shirt today.
There you go, Jake Hart. A 2-year-old was more okay watching Jurassic Park than you were when you were 13. Too bad.
See, he just knows that dinosaurs are cool.
Well, he's also only 2, right? It's entirely possible that when he is 4, stuff like that will scare him. Because
Yeah, when he
he's
has
actually,
a better idea of what's happening.
Yeah, when he can actually follow the story and have empathy for other human beings. Because right now he's 2. He doesn't have any empathy for anyone, including
Well, you don't
his
care if the
parents.
lawyer gets eaten.
Well, yeah, right. Yeah.
I mean, I brought you guys here to defend me. But the only one who's on my side is a
He's
blood-sucking lawyer.
But
Thank
I mean,
you.
once you see Jeff Goldblum without his shirt off, you're really afraid he's going to get killed,
Yeah.
eaten. That's the rule. Once you take your shirt off in a horror movie, you get eaten.
That's
So-
true, but Jurassic Park's still one of the greatest movies ever.
Oh yeah, no, it's fantastic. Yeah, that is a tight movie.
And the only other thing I watched is... So I've been doing this Ryan's Vault thing where I just put movies in a bag randomly, and I have either Kellen pick it or I pick it.
Yeah.
Of course,
But they're movies you haven't watched before.
yes.
You haven't watched the Blu-ray.
Yes. And some of them I haven't seen, like this next film, and I didn't let Kellen pick this one. When I put these films in, I usually take like 5 to 10 of them and put them in a bag or a box and just pull one out randomly. And so I put a bunch of violent ones in horror films, and I pulled out Clown, which is directed by John Watts, who's doing the new Spider-Man movie.
Oh, okay.
It's his first movie, and how he got this gig is kind of cool. He shot a short about a man who puts on a clown costume and he can't take it off, and he shot it as a trailer. And the trailer he put from horror master Eli Roth just to be as a goof.
Oh yeah.
And Eli Roth's like, I really like that. You should make that movie. And so that's how he got discovered.
That's funny.
He also did. Actually, he was actually pretty prominent. He directed a lot of. I don't know if you guys remember the Onion News.
Oh yeah.
He did a lot of episodes of that. So he did a lot of like sitcom-y stuff.
Oh, okay, cool.
He's still a young guy, but anyway, so he made this film called Clown, and that's what it is. It's about this guy who his kid's having a birthday party, and they want a clown, and the clown had to call and cancel. So he's a realtor, and he's at one of the houses he's showing, and he sees that there's a clown costume locked in this like chest. So he puts on the clown costume, he shows up, and everybody loves him. And
But
that
it's
night,
made out of human flesh.
that night he falls asleep on the couch, and he wakes up. He's like, "Oh, I have a showing. I got to take off this clown costume." And he goes up there, and he can't take off the wig, and he can't take off the costume. Like he tries to cut it up, and when he finally gets the nose off, he gets it ripped off, and it rips off part of his nose. And the movie goes like crazy dark. Like, so it's kind of funny at the beginning,
Yeah.
and then it goes to straight horror, where it turns out this suit is actually like a skin of a demon. And so when the dude put it on, the demon just starts like becoming part of the guy, and the demon eats children.
Oh, good.
So this film, and a lot of times horror films won't show children being killed.
Eaten. Yeah.
Not this one.
You've got practical dummies of children.
Yeah. So there's a part where he decides he's just going to kill himself because he he's like getting hungry, and he realizes that he has to eat children. So he doesn't want to eat children. So
Is it like that episode of It's Always Sunny where he's running around like eating different kinds of meat?
Yes.
And he's like, what if I eat baby like monkeys? If I eat baby monkeys, will that be okay?
yes, in a horrific way.
Right.
So he's gonna kill himself. So he shoots himself in the head, and when he does, blood doesn't come out. It's like rainbow colored, like so it looks like clown makeup goes behind him, and it doesn't kill him. So he finds out he needs to eat kids. So he takes these two like table saws. And he puts him up, and he's gonna rock the chair back, and put his head through it. But this little kid opens the door, and it scares him, and he falls back and misses, and he hits the saw, and the saw like goes through the kid's chest, and the kid falls forward, and then he starts eating the kid, and then the movie goes from there where he has to eat 5 kids, and if he eats 5 kids, then he can get rid of the costume, and so he goes to a Chuck E. Cheese and like eats children. And there's a part where he's eating this one kid, and this mom's like, "Where's your brother?" And this blood comes down this fucking slide with an arm that's severed and just pours out all over the balls, like the ball pit. It's like, holy shit, this movie just goes for it. And it's actually if you like horror films and you like disgusting horror films, it's actually really cool. And the makeup effects in it are really good. The guy who's the lead in it is really good. Some of the acting is hit or miss, but I mean, I don't know how much it was made for. Probably $200,000.
Yeah.
But it's really good, and you can see he's a really different director, and I can see why he was picked to do a big movie because he's really good at character moments.
Cool.
I mean, if you watch Cop Car, it's kind of the same thing, where he's really good.
Oh, that was his.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, yeah. Cop Car's great.
Yeah, so he's very interesting. So I'm kind of interested to see what he does with Spider-Man. So if you want to see a crazy film about a clown that murders children. Check out Clown.
Did he make this before he did Cop Car?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
I think he made it 2014, but it wasn't released until this year.
Sure.
I'm sure it was probably available like digitally or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that's what I watched this week.
Cool.
And of course, Peter, what's the dude from Hansel Girl? Stormare?
Peter Stormare.
Yeah, he's one of the guys in it.
Good.
He has like a cameo.
He's always great. Cool.
Yep. Brad, what'd you watch?
Light week. I went and saw Star Trek First Contact at the Sea Film Center for like a 20th anniversary showing.
That's a good movie.
And they had a professor there who talked about the movie with the audience.
A professor of Star Trek?
A professor of something at Metro. I don't know. I wasn't paying too much attention. I was trying to ask this one question.
I didn't come here to learn, buddy.
Well, a lot of people, there's like generic questions where I'm like, I already know the answer. But the one thing I wanted to ask him was, and someone asked, like after waiting for most of the Q&A, someone asked it like right before he finally, because I was in the front row all by myself, and there's like that middle row where people walk around the seats. Mm-hmm. So he was ignoring me for the longest time, and then he finally like realized I was raising my hand. Some other guy asked this question for me, but
pay no attention to him.
You can just keep
talking. You're all watching him.
I'm watching him because I don't want him to electrocute himself.
But I can
I'm
hear
listening to you.
Okay.
Some other guy asked my question. See?
And my question was, how do they land the Phoenix?
Very true.
Like,
does it not? I would assume that it has it ejects and re-enters the way that a traditional spaceship would.
It would have to have hover conversion because it's a rocket. So you either dump in the ocean, but it can't be because then they'd have to travel all the way back to Montana on foot.
Oh, very true. Yeah, he built a dumb ship.
Or it would, I don't know, because you
can't
say that the Enterprise helped them because before they showed up, he'd already completed the mission. So somehow they got the Phoenix back to Earth before Picard and everybody.
It has landing gear.
It has to have hover conversion. That's all I can think.
No, it has landing gear.
Okay.
You just come in at the right angle, and then it like coasts down.
Yeah.
Even though it's not a glider. Parachute. It's just got a big parachute in it. Yeah.
Just a bunch of parachutes.
Yes.
Yep. Although
none of that works. No, I mean it doesn't. Nothing about that ship actually survives re-entry.
Right.
Which makes sense because the Enterprise traditionally is not necessarily supposed to be able to like land on a planet.
They can go underwater now.
Hey, shh.
Anyway, so that was fun. That movie's awesome, and it was a 35mm print, so it was fun seeing all the dust scratches and things.
Yeah.
Again, And then the last thing I watched is season 2 of Gotham, which is still like the weird dual hybrid of like there's two artistic directions going on, where part of it's very Schumacher Batman, and another part of it's trying to be Nolan Batman at the same time.
Does that show exist in the same universe as the Flash shows?
I don't officially know, but I could see how it could. But
Okay. I guess it's in the past, so they could do whatever they want.
well, that's the whole show is basically given the finger to canon. They just do whatever they want.
Oh, okay.
Like there's so many like deviations from like traditional characters and where they exist in the timeline. It's I think like halfway through season 1 they said like, let's stop trying to
yeah.
build this mystery around what's already been written. Let's just be our own thing.
Let's
So,
get viewers.
yeah. So but it's getting pretty crazy. The second half of the season introduces Hugo Strange, and he was like friends with Thomas Wayne. And he's working on this program.
Another role lost to an Asian guy when it's supposed to be a white guy.
And so he was secretly making all these monsters, and now,
Not that strange.
in addition to traditional villains like the Penguin and Mr. Freeze, like there's like armies of freaks running around, and it's going to get pretty
Okay.
wild. And then there's weird stuff like Gordon murders people. He actually goes to jail for a little while, but everything's so rushed. He's in prison for like 2 episodes, and then gets out and solves his own murder or his own. He solves
the murder that
put him in jail.
He
Yeah.
doesn't solve who killed him.
Yeah.
It's not Lindsay Lohan.
It's not that off the wall, but
Yeah.
but the Riddler framed him and stuff. So.
Important question: Is it good?
It's good. It's good enough. It's not terrible, but it's like I said, it's the Schumachery like over the top silly things. Like okay, so they introduced Azrael, right? And part of one of the weird plot points is that Hugo Strange can bring people back from the dead,
Okay,
which is
great.
a terrible way of writing.
Yes,
But this guy who ran for mayor, and actually I thought they were building up to the Court of Owls storyline, but it's actually the Order of Saint Dumas, which introduces Azrael. But the guy Theo Galavan, who's running for mayor, like he dies, and they turn him into Azrael, and then he goes on this rampage to kill Jim Gordon, and then the cool part of it is his antics because he's like a superhuman now. He can like do crazy jumps and is a little bit more impervious to pain than most people.
is there
like
a
Bruce-
montage where he's doing crazy jumps?
No, but he tracks down Jim Gordon, and then Jim Gordon and the chief of police like try to defend themselves, but Bruce Wayne's in the vicinity of it, and he sees like this guy in a cape like a shadow in a cape jumping from like platform to platform, and you're just like, wow, that's like kind of the inspiration for Batman
Okay.
for him, like as a young kid.
Oh, okay.
Like it's plotting the seed
oh, right,
of,
because Batman's not in the show.
right.
Is it good?
But anyway, and then at the end of the Azrael storyline, like he's infiltrated Wayne Manor, and someone's put it in his head that he has to kill Bruce Wayne instead of Jim Gordon. 'Cause
Okay.
that was his original mission before he died.
Brad, you're good.
Nope, I'll wait.
No one else can even really hear
I'll
him.
just cut it out.
Okay.
So yeah, Azrael, Jim Gordon's fighting Azrael, and all of a sudden, like they get to Wayne, they fight out of the mansion up to the front gates, and then just when you think Azrael's going to win, the Penguin and his goon show up with a rocket launcher and just blow up Azrael, and they're like, "Glad doing business with you," and then they walk away. Like it's this quick out. Like there's a lot of convenience in the show, much like the Blacklist. Anyone can be anywhere at any time. Like Gordon just gets into people's apartments.
Huh.
Villains just get into people's apartments, show up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's stuff like that that's like ugh. But again, it's like a network show, so everything's rushed and convenient. 'Cause
Like
it's easier.
Hannibal.
Did you see the Amazon exclusive for Star Trek Beyond? It's awesome. It comes with like a
Oh.
Franklin model.
Yes. Yeah. Well, it comes with all 3 of them, doesn't it?
I don't know.
I think
I
it
just saw
co-
the Franklin model.
Yeah. I think. Well. Okay. Yeah.
It looks awesome.
Yeah.
Makes me want to get it.
Yeah.
I'm still going with the Steelbook.
Yeah. Cool. Anything else?
That's it for me.
Okay. I really only watched one thing. I've been playing through now Bioshock 2, and I'm almost done with Bioshock 2, so that's taking most of my time. And I will say really quick that I caught up with this season of *Halt and Catch Fire*, and genuinely the best written season of show. Not necessarily my favorite, but like what they are doing with these characters is so smart. There's nothing, even though like characters keep doing things that like you don't like, they do an amazing job of giving you enough perspective that you understand like why people are doing things, and so like mistakes and things get made, and you always empathize with why everything is happening. It is just such a great like special show.
Do you think they'll be able to like? Is there more stories for a fourth season?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they will keep going. So they've done they've pulled a couple of things this week or this season so far. So they're telling their sort of weird angle on the Apple Steve Jobs getting fired story. I mean, spoilers for the first 5 episodes. They are doing some amazing work talking about.
Wait, this is season 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
Talking about women in startups and just women in general in business at that time period and the way that they were treated and some of the interplay even between the two women who run Mutiny, and sort of the way that like they don't even trust each other because of all the things going on around them. Yeah, and then they
Is Gordon still fighting cancer?
Yes.
Okay.
That story is still good, because it's that he has it and they are measuring, or he has this. It's not really cancer. It's like it's like these lesions on his brain, and so you're monitoring every now and then. It just pops up and he'll like write in a journal about how he is doing, but it's definitely like a B. Gordon is very much a B storyline. It's really about Donna and Cameron and Joe.
Is Lee Pace still working on network security?
It's a little much to. Yes, I will say that. There is more going on there, but yeah, there's plenty more. I mean, the internet doesn't really exist yet. So there are plenty of stories that they can go tell about that show. And eventually I think that the show matures enough that you tell modern stories about what that world looks like today. I mean, there is so much potential to keep that kind of story going.
Yeah,
now, the problem is when you do that, you lose some of the fun of the setting of the show, you know?
I guess I shouldn't say network security. Like, it seemed like he had a plan to infect people's computers and then sell them the cure for it.
Yeah, you should watch that show. It's not infected. That's malicious. It's the creation of like a Norton antivirus, that kind of thing. So yeah. Anyway, so that show is really great. But the only real thing that I watched this week was I got a chance to watch Kurosawa's Seven Samurai. I actually watched it last night. Didn't realize when I started playing it that it was 3.5 hours long. I got to the intermission 2 hours in, and the intermission popped up, and I was like, "Oh, what have I done?" Because I started it at 8:30. So at 10:30, the intermission pops up, and I was like, "Oh shit, I'm in trouble."
And I'm guessing you watched it as a pre-watcher for what this week's movie's about.
Yes, I watched it because I had never seen it. And we were going to see Magnificent Seven, and I was like, I should watch Kurosawa's. This is the first Kurosawa film I've ever watched. For whatever reason, mostly, like, I own a couple, and I just haven't watched them yet. I get the Criterions when I get a chance. But it's one of those things where, like, I would have to really, it's just like the Chaplin stuff, right? Like, you have to really sit down and commit yourself to, I'm going to absorb every ounce of this as much as I can, not just because it's in a foreign language, but also because it is of a time, and, you know, in this case, it's 3.5 hours long, and it, you know, you're gonna pay a lot of attention to, like, the way he composes shots and that kind of stuff, and it's not necessarily, like, there are times when the camera jiggles and it's still in the movie and stuff like that, where you're just like, well, that you would never get away with that now. But at the same time, you're getting these amazing shots where, like, you have a character in the foreground and a character in the background, and they're having a conversation, and then one of them moves and the other one comes into the foreground, and so you're getting, like, it's a thing that Spielberg does as well, but you're getting multiple shots in the same shot, and sometimes he doesn't even move the camera. He just has the characters choreographed in these fantastic ways where it adds a lot of drama and tension to the shot without him doing anything other than letting the characters move. But anyway, Seven Samurai is a 3.5 hour long epic. It feels a lot like watching a Ten Commandments or Ben-Hur or one of those kind of films, like a Lawrence of Arabia.
Yeah, I started it. I didn't get through it.
Oh man, I love this film. The first 2 hours is just you getting to know the samurai. So for some people, it's the inverse of Lawrence of Arabia, right? So like some people are going to watch this and be like, yeah, the first half's really boring, and then the last hour and a half where they're fighting dudes is really cool. But for me, that first half is really important because it makes you really care about these characters, and gives you a lot of like interesting information about the culture that, of course, one of the reasons why if you make this into a Western, it works really well in America and you don't need it to be 3.5 hours long is that we all understand like the West and we understand what's going on there. Whereas here, like there are times where they'll talk about like, oh, if I'd been born a samurai and not a farmer and that kind of stuff. And you have to remember that like there are different groups of people and their cultures are different. And so they're, just groups of, families of samurai where they're not necessarily farmers. They're all fighters and stuff like understanding that sort of not nomadic, but like, kinship culture and that kind of stuff that is a little bit lost on me, that watching through the movie, you get these little undertones. It's also just really like part of why the movie is so long is because there's a lot of fun or character building sequences that you wouldn't need to have, if you're going to make Magnificent Seven, do you need the fun slapsticky alcoholic character to have a scene where, he's super drunk and they take away his sword and they chase him around the barn for a while? No, but the reason that scene's actually there is to have this conversation about the fact that he carries around this lineage and pretends that he is of this great lineage of samurai, and then when you do the math, you realize that if he's telling the truth, he would be 13 years old, and so therefore it feeds into this great subplot where you learn about that character throughout the movie. He's the equivalent of basically Chris Pratt's character, and so when you meet him, like he's this kind of weird guy that's just obsessed with how good our main hero samurai is and wants to learn from him. But he's also an alcoholic, and turns out that he was born a farmer. Like he's actually trying to fight against the whole system because he's angry with everything. And then also makes this huge mistake in the third act of the film that costs a few of the samurai their lives. Like he has this amazing subplot in this film that you wouldn't necessarily get in a 1.5-hour movie or 2.5-hour movie. But basically you spend that first 2 hours where this band of bandits is attacking this village, and a couple of people who are brave enough go into town and they start looking for samurai. The kind of cool thing here is that they actually have nothing to pay the samurai. All they can promise them is that they will feed them rice the entire time that they are in the village. Because none of the other people in the village eat rice because they don't have enough because the bandits keep taking it all. But they're like, well, if you come do this, we can feed you for a while. So what's neat is this whole sequence where this one older samurai who's really good, that we see this awesome sequence where he saves a little boy from a bandit at the beginning. He has to, like, one at a time recruit samurai that are both talented and willing to go do this job, even though they're not going to get anything out of it. And so by the time they go to the village and start training the farmers, like you really believe that they are invested in this on an ethical level, where they're like, no, this really is terrible that farmers have been sort of left to these devices. And there's a whole sub theme about how the samurai are trained for war, and again, this is one of the like pieces of Japanese history that I don't know enough about. But there's this great conversation about how like the samurai don't really respect the farmers and never have, which is why they like the farmers are all super suspicious of them, and that the samurai are, or that the farmers are actually victims of the samurai for a long time. And it's like the samurai are here because they can help, but they're not necessarily the good guys to the farmers. It's like having, it's a the enemy of my enemy kind of a thing. And I don't think, like, the samurai don't realize that until halfway through the movie, where they realize, like, oh shit, we've done a lot of bad things to these people, as a group. So anyway, it's a fantastic, really fantastic movie. When the last hour and a half long fight sequence happens, where it spends a lot of time, like, explaining to you the strategic element of what they're doing. So they'll, like, much like in the movie that we saw today, they have these traps set up for when the bandits get there, and they know that there's exactly 40 of them, and so they've got, like, a list of them, and they count every time they kill a couple to see how well they're doing, and then they'll try these different tricks. So they'll, like, get them to come in one way, and they'll let one guy in, and then all the farmers will come in and stop the horses so they can kill that one guy. And so it's like this war of attrition with these bandits, where they're carefully taking out one or two or four at a time, and it's really cool. I'm amazed that, tired on a Friday night, I thoroughly enjoyed, this entire film, and stuck with it, and, was not really, genuinely did not get bored, because I really liked those characters a lot. So yeah, I might be hooked and might find myself, switching back and forth between watching Charlie Chaplin films and Kurosawa films until I have seen enough black and white pictures to like,
Do
drown
black and white
myself.
pictures work better for you because you're colorblind?
They totally do. Yeah, I did think about it at one point where I was like, oh, I bet this movie in color would look amazing, because you don't get any of the Japanese aesthetic culture in the movie. I mean, there's some hints to it where, like, there's a great shot where she goes and lays it down in this Shino. She lays down in this field of flowers, and you can tell, like, man, if this were in color, I bet this would just be beautiful. Because there's also this whole subplot about this guy who is freaked out because he's like, you can't bring samurai here to protect us because all of the women will go crazy and fall in love with them, and then what will we do? And so he, like, forces his daughter to cut her hair and pretend she's a boy. There's so many stories going on here. And the guy who plays, I can't pronounce any of their names, but basically he's the alcoholic, like, wild samurai who's really fun and, like, super animated, is great. Like, every time he's on screen, you're having fun. Even when he fucks shit up, you're like, oh man, he's just, because he's, like, hooting and hollering and bouncing. He's like a cartoon character, but a person and a samurai, and he carries the longest sword I've ever seen. Like, it's so
too.
It's so long. I don't, like, every time he would unsheath it, I was like, how does he do that? Like, it's longer than his arms. But anyway, I think it's a fantastic film. You can rent it on Amazon. You can rent the Criterion version, and when you do, they give you 72 hours to watch it instead of the normal 48, because they're like, this is a lot of shit, and this movie's 3.5 hours long. So it might take you 3 days to watch the whole thing. Definitely, I would certainly recommend it. I think it's really cool. So, yeah, that's everything I watched this week.
This week we saw another Seven Samurai movie, but Western style. We saw The Magnificent Seven. James, should people see The Magnificent Seven?
Yeah. So, quick caveat, I haven't seen the original. I was going to watch it before we did this, but we ended up recording a little earlier. This is some of the most fun I've had in a theater in a couple months now. Just a really cool action movie with some really great one-liners and some fun characters. Definitely a couple of moments where I'm like, well, that's corny or dumb, but I forgive every one of them because I think the movie is pretty badass. So yeah, I would definitely recommend it.
Brad?
I too have not seen the original, but I thought it was fun. I think the problem for me is that it's the template for most Westerns. Like most modern Westerns you've seen are based on this story. So there wasn't a lot of surprise to it for me. But I think if you watch this movie, you go to watch the actors perform these characters. Like,
totally.
That's the only draw. Like, if I want to see it again, it's because I want to see Denzel or Chris Pratt, like, play the character. Otherwise, the story's, like, pretty...
Oh, for sure.
Pretty simple.
Yeah.
And they don't do anything terribly innovative to, make it better. like it's a lot of stuff's telegraphed. So it was just like it's really just watching these people act. So
Yeah, I mean, I didn't like it. Like,
Really?
Yeah, I thought it was boring. I thought the acting, when it wasn't Chris Pratt or Denzel Washington or
Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke. I'll get to him.
Okay.
Not Ethan Hawke. Who's the Mexican guy? I thought he was.
Oh,
thought
I don't know his name.
I forget his.
Yeah.
something Garcia.
Yeah.
I thought he was really good.
Racist. It's no, I know you're right. I know you're right.
I thought he was good, but other than that, I thought the movie was like boring, and because what Brad hit on, it's like, oh, there's a land baron guy who's killing people in the town, and I thought Forsaken did a way better job doing it.
Sure. Quick caveat: all that stuff comes from this movie, but sure.
Yeah, I know.
That's what I said,
So
like-
I get it, but also, why is every town they go into take place in a saloon that has a brothel in it? Is that all in the Wild West was saloons with brothels?
Yes.
Simpler times.
Yep.
It's still
They
stupid.
didn't have an
Anyway.
arcade. So.
And then,
Yeah.
and then I can't.
There
I don't know
there
how-
were no Pizza Huts.
I don't know how many times in this movie they like hookers would be in like the standard 1800s hooker get up, and they'd be like walking down the stairs with some guy. Then there'd be gunfights, like oh, and they'd run away. Oh, it drove me crazy. This movie drove
Doesn't
me
that
crazy.
happen like once?
No,
Okay.
it was driving me crazy.
I will say, like another thing too is
Are we gonna play the trailer?
nope. I'm gonna get my point out, and then you guys can just talk amongst yourselves for the rest of the review.
Wow.
Like as I was watching the movie, this thing in my head was like I just kept like thinking to myself like how awful it must have been back in the Wild West days that like you're constantly looking over your shoulder because anyone could just try to shoot you.
Yep.
And I feel like this movie did a good.
This movie did a good job.
No, I'll wait. Did a good job of creating that tension of like at any time someone could be shot in the back. So yeah.
Nope,
I would agree.
this movie's boring.
You're so wrong.
You're wrong. Here's
Let's play the trailer.
Man carries a gun, he tends to use it.
Dan, you dead? Pity.
I had just ordered a drink from that man.
Took a job looking for some men to join me.
Is it difficult?
Impossible.
How many you got so far?
You and me,
Who's she?
we work for her.
Good Lord.
That's right.
That man murdered my husband.
I want something. I take it.
He will take everything we have.
So you seek revenge.
I seek righteousness, but I'll take revenge.
I need more than a few to help us fight.
What a bunch of misfits we are.
You know how to shoot that thing? I'm good.
So am I.
Who's local, my friend?
Oh, we're good. We got a Mexican. I sense we are bonding. Oh. We got a 7.
He's got an army.
And they'll be murdered.
By the world's greatest lover.
Why are you here? Fighting someone else's fight.
These people deserve their lives back. Just make sure we're fighting the battle in front of us, not the battle behind. Every man's got the right to choose where he dies. We have
Nowhere else to go, so.
You ain't never seen a soldier like me. 1, 2, 3, I'm a vigilante. 4, 5, 6, kiss that ass goodbye. When I pull the gun, then somebody gotta die.
What's the plan?
I've always wanted to blow something up.
Is that a plan?
I'ma put your lights out. We can do this right now. I'm ready for war.
How'd we do?
I think we killed them all.
How do do you not enjoy this movie?
Oh,
Holy
I don't know.
shit!
So the opening, who's the bad guy in this? What's the actor?
Peter Sarsgaard.
Yeah. So opening where they're like, "You can't come in here. This is God's house." And I knew I was in trouble when the extras are overacting, and it drives me crazy. It's really distracting to me. So in the church scene, when the bad guy comes in and he says, "Reach in there, boy. What is this?" And there's a dude who's in the second row in the pew, and he's like throwing his hands up like and shaking his head like, "I can't believe this is happening to our town." It is driving me crazy. And I think the motivation is stupid, and I don't think like that line. I think
The motivation of like saving people from a bad guy.
no,
is stupid.
I'm talking about the motivation for the bad guy in that scene is stupid.
Oh, okay.
And he's not like that compelling as a bad guy to me. He's like, oh, here's another like Western dandy guy.
Sure.
And Matt Bomer, where he's like, "Hey man, get the fuck out of our town. We don't need to put up with this bullshit anymore."
I don't think
Exact
any of
lines
that,
from the movie.
I don't think that was in the movie. What
Yeah.
movie did you see?
Okay, and so in all seriousness, there's also a part at the beginning where they're just like giving you the overview of like the town, right? And there's guys who have the gold, and they're coming in and they jump out and they have guns.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
they're bribing the sheriff.
Yeah.
Before they take over the church.
It's irrelevant because I'm going to get to the point. So so they have like the box of gold, and their mouths aren't moving, but all I hear is a South Park guy going, "Get the gold in here. Let's go, guys. Let's get the gold. Yeah, you know that Brug wants to do this. Get the gold." Yeah, it happened in that movie.
Wait. So what you're saying is now you were also hallucinating dialogue?
No, I was not hallucinating dialogue. At the beginning, the guys are unloading.
Oh,
stuff.
I see what you're saying. It's just that there's ADR.
There's
of,
ADR.
Okay.
There, and then it comes back when they go back. So I'm going to jump ahead really fast. So that part drove me crazy, and then it comes back again when the Magnificent Seven go to liberate the mine.
Yeah.
They come in like, and they're picking guys off, and there's people just standing there with their mouths not moving, going, "Where's the shot coming from? Oh, they're taking out the bad guys." Literally, they're saying that, and it's fucking stupid.
So your problem was that they ADR'd some lines in for people who weren't really understand, for
like,
the old folk in the theater who didn't understand.
That, and it's.
Which I would agree is superfluous, but yeah.
Yeah, but even the opening scene, I don't have any emotional attachment to these people because he's picking on some kid to stick his hand in a jar that has dust in it.
Well, no, it's actually because he's forcing them out of the town, telling them he'll give them $20 or he'll probably kill them all, and then he just slaughters like 6 people.
Yeah, well, remember because
he feels like
Well,
it.
he comes in and the Irish priest is like, "Don't do this in God's house, son." I'm like, oh my god, this is so stupid. Like, so right away,
because he has an accent and he's Irish.
No, right away, instantly, I'm like taken out of the movie because the dialogue is bad, the acting is not good. I'm taken out immediately in the movie.
Okay,
let's get the gold inside. Yeah, get it. Go get the gold. That drives me crazy.
Okay.
I don't remember that dialogue, but okay.
I don't either. Anyway, so we
It might not have been specifically that dialogue, but it's basically the gist of what they were saying.
We meet Denzel Washington, and he's hunting down this dude, and
yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it's really great. And he's a cool gunslinger, and there's this sort of neat interplay there in that scene where like Chris Pratt clearly like admires this guy to some degree, but doesn't understand really why, and then gets himself in some trouble. And this movie sort of flies through the, hey, we need to go get 7 dudes to go fight this thing, which is one of my sort of problems with it, is that because you don't get to spend 2 hours doing it the right way, you basically get 30 minutes or 35 minutes or so of like meeting these characters, and some of them are better than others. I really love the scene where when we meet Goodnight and Billy, and they're having that like standoff in the little round is directly ripped from Seven Samurai. Like it's the exact same sequence, and it's really cool there too. But here, like he kills him with a hairpin, so like that one is pretty fun. The one with the Indian is pretty dumb, where the Indian just like walks in and is like,
"Hey, what are you guys doing?"
"Hey man, I got this deer. I like organs. I walk a different path."
You want to share an organ?
That scene happens, and the whole time I'm tense, just because I'm like, this could get offensive real fast. Can we just end this sequence and add him to the team and move along? Because this is going to get bad.
See, that stuff like that's fun, where it's Because I think Denzel Washington's good in the movie. I think Chris Pratt's really good in the movie.
Yeah.
You know, the part where Chris Pratt is trying to get his horse back, and he's making fun of that small Irish guy. He's like, I didn't know there's a leprechaun, too. That's great.
He has so many great one-liners. Like, I think that bear was wearing human clothes
Yeah.
oh my God, my whole theater just erupted.
But it's, I mean, like the part where, you know, so they're eating organs, and then Denzel just walks away and he says, he's joining.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
That's
No,
cool.
That sequence is silly.
But then I have to endure, like, I don't like the story with, I guess the whole, like, town folk story really bothers me because I don't think it's very compelling. And they're like, he's so mean to us and he's going to take our land and he killed my husband. I'd rather just hang out with the guys who are killing people because the town folks people are boring. And Vincent D'Onofrio's character was annoying too.
We aren't really wow. We aren't even really spending that much time with the townsfolk. Like,
It's enough to distract the movie.
They're just like, aren't we
No.
delightfully incompetent?
Yes.
yeah, like they're there enough for us to have fun with
yeah.
our heroes, so that our heroes can save some
Yeah,
people.
because I go back to the church where they all stand up and like, man, we can't let him do this. No, let's let him do it.
You mean the first scene?
businessman. Yeah,
It's one scene.
yeah, it's still, but it carries the weight. Like the dude who has a kid, who sticks his hand in the jar, keeps on coming back, and he's always like protecting his kid, and they're always crying, and it's really
Yeah,
obnoxious.
he's like an extra in the background, like just
No, there's
so
a
that
part
if
where they
you
hide behind a
if you
wagon.
had a heart and you cared about that guy not having his son die, you at least know by
I
the
don't
end.
care about him
okay,
because the
he's
acting
okay.
is shitty.
That's okay.
And the dialogue is poorly written.
I so disagree with you.
Do you think like that the beginning is well done?
I think it is well done for this kind of a Western. The dialogue and acting in this movie did not bother me one bit.
Like, so when the bad guys are in the church, they're like chewing and spitting and like, oh my god, it's, I don't know, just irritating.
That's
me.
how you know they're bad guys.
Yeah,
No.
like this is a popcorn Western flick.
No, it can still be good, and it's not.
But that's how, like, that's the vernacular of the film. Like, that is how the film communicates with you. And they are, like, just him spitting is them communicating that they don't give a shit. Like, that is a choice from that character to be actively disrespectful.
I get it, James. You don't have to talk down to me. I understand what they're trying to do.
I'm just saying, I don't understand.
But your
like,
argument with me to make me like it is not going to change.
okay, great. Fine.
He's just explaining
anyway.
why he likes it.
Yeah, like I think everything about this movie, with the exception of the Indian scene being pretty on the nose. I hate that there has to be a magic Indian fight. That was fucked up and dumb. Like those are the two things that I would actively fix. And the fact that this movie ends on one of the worst shots of the year, which is, why did they have to CG some crosses? Why couldn't they just take some wood out into a field? Especially because they use CG as matte paintings the whole time.
I don't think it was CG. I think they
Dude,
no,
that was some Ang Lee bullshit.
no. I think it was just highly stylized. Like I'm learning stuff about like cinema cameras.
Yeah.
And like you can stretch the color values and stuff. And I think they just like oversaturated like, a real shot.
That could be, like, I would believe you, because if so, it's pretty good CG, but everything looks waxy in that shot. Like literally, I walked out of the theater and my first comment was, they couldn't just build 4 crosses and put them on a hill? Like,
Yeah.
really? But I know I had a whole lot of fun.
But
Like,
also
I think
going
the,
back, so Ethan Hawke.
I mean, I was talking about what I liked about the movie, but if you want to keep hating on it for no reason, that's fine.
No, so Ethan Hawke's big moral dilemma is he can't kill anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
dumb.
No, it's actually really great, and ties into, you know, part of the original, but still.
So, I can't kill anybody. I'm leaving. No, you need to stay and kill. I can't. And then he comes back. Who cares? Like, everybody knew he is.
Okay, so I would say him coming back, second worst shot of the movie, like that low angle of like the slow motion horse coming in. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? But it doesn't. Yeah, like they do not earn him coming back properly. And honestly, I was fine with him being gone, because then what it does is it removes him and allows the girl to become one of the Magnificent Seven. So I was cool at that point. I was like, oh great, because that is part of the like.
James,
I
the young
appreciate
lady girl.
the nice Miss Cullen, Mrs. the widow Cullen.
The Widow Cullen.
The widow Cullen can then become one of the Magnificent Seven. The
part I hated about it was that typical thing of like he's going to come back.
Oh no, I agree, and that's
Yeah.
why I didn't want him to.
Right. I like your idea where if he
where
had
the Widow
just-
Cullen gets to become a
if
Magnificent
he'd owned
Seven.
it, yeah.
Because there's even that line where she's like, "I'll replace him," and I was like, "Oh, great." Because we've had our power shot of here's the 7 guys, so if one of them leaves, then she gets to replace him.
And you should have like there should be a scene where he dies out like away from the town for being a coward or something.
Or I mean, I actually think that his fate, if he doesn't come back and doesn't get discussed again, his fate there is pretty great because he even said, like in that speech, he's like, "I've become everything I hate." Like, and the last thing he says is, "Remember me as I used to be," and then he rides off, and you're
Remember
like, "Oh,
me
man."
as a killer.
Well, as a cool guy
Not a pussy.
who is calm and able to actually like make an impact on his world, where he is no longer able to.
And then remember when Vincent D'Onofrio sees the Indian guy, and he's like, "Although I walk through shadow of..."
Oh, terrible. Yes, shouldn't have done it. Because that character is fun up until then, and his little bits of, like, quoting the Bible and praying and that kind of stuff I enjoyed. And then that becomes this corny, like, okay, what? Nah, you didn't have to do that. But it's also about 3 seconds of the movie. So not the worst thing ever. But no, I think that Ethan Hawke's story about, being a guy who has fought and killed a lot in his life. He's an ex-Civil War, or he's a Civil War veteran, and so is Denzel Washington. Probably because they fought. I mean, they're both from Kansas, so they were probably fighting in bloody Kansas. Like him talking about the fact that like he just can't do it anymore, and being pretty tired of killing. And then there's also that little line about. Like he's afraid that if he starts killing people again, that he's going to die a terrible death. So it's this sort of looming invocation for the end of the film. I will say that like when he's pretending to have a hard time firing the rifle in that first pretty badass like tense shootout where they're all standing in the like where they've got the bad guys surrounded.
Yeah, that's
and at
cool.
first, it's so like that sequence is great, partially because. You think like he gets the upper hand, and you realize like, oh, he's gonna run these guys off, and then the Indian fires the arrow, and you're like, oh no, he's totally picking this fight. Like Denzel Washington isn't here to let you go; he's here to fuck all of you guys in half.
Are you sure you guys don't want to take my gun?
Oh yeah, yeah. He's like he so wants to kill them enough that he eventually picks the fight and is like, no, you're gonna die. I think that sequence is at least worth the movie. And probably the best sequence of the movie. Because the action at the end is a modern action movie and also feels a lot like some of those old westerns where there's so much going on that it's not a great choreographed action scene, but partially because it's such a big area that you're bouncing from this
And
area.
here
this
comes
section
the
to this
Gatling
section.
gun. I thought I saw that in Shanghai Nights.
Yeah, and Shanghai Nights is a way worse film than this. Like, yeah, like that's a movie where there's a lot of dumb, poorly written dialogue and like
just like this one.
and ham-fisted sequences. Like, no, this is a very simple archetype of westerns done well for a modern audience. This isn't like just because it is the same, root story.
No, I'm not saying it's the story. I'm saying it's executed poorly.
I dramatically disagree.
I mean, you've made it very clear that you do. I get it, James.
You've made it very clear that you really don't like the VO at the beginning. So,
and in the middle.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. There's a couple lines in the middle too. You're right. Yeah.
And that Ethan Hawke is sad because he can't kill anymore.
Right.
And it's really poorly handled. I think everything that had to do with the town folks is poorly written, and I just wanted to do more of like the dudes bonding. Like I think when Chris Pratt and Denzel Washington talk is fun. I like the scene where
they're all drunk.
Yeah. The scene where they meet the Mexican gunfighter, I think, is fun.
Oh yeah.
I think even though the end gunfight with the main bad guy and Denzel is like at the beginning, I'm like, this isn't that exciting. But then when Denzel's able to act and he starts choking him out, I think it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Though I was a little disappointed that they wrote in a reason for them to have a past. Like I didn't need that.
Yeah.
Like I wanted, like it was enough just to know like bad things have happened to Denzel Washington that now he wants to make the world better. Like he's trying to make up for something. Like that's enough. Especially in a Western where most of the time your Western heroes are people, they're your pale writers where they have a past, but we're not going to take time to write it because that costs money. like that would have fit very well with the traditional Western. But at the same time, I think with a modern movie, I think most audiences foolishly would want you to tie that together. But for me, it's a mistake.
Yeah.
I would rather he just be like, "You're a fucking piece of shit. I'm gonna choke you out." I actually was terrified at the end because I was like, "Oh man, are they gonna drop the bell on him?" Like some,
I did.
like some, because I thought when they used the Gatling gun on it, I'm like, "Oh, this is awesome. Those guys are gonna die." Like what I would have shot it with, just like move across the town and drop the whole tower in, and we just know those two are dead. Because it's burned down, like the whole bell tower is burned down, and then you just riddle it with bullets. And so then when they were walking in, I was like, "Oh fuck you! No, don't do this!" And then thankfully they didn't, because that was terrifying for a moment.
I thought it'd been funny if like the Gatling gun had weakened because they had to re-raise the bell. If,
Yeah,
like, If they didn't tell us it had been. The rope had weakened, and then when he's crawling there on the in front of the entrance, I was like,
"Oh, like if
do it."
Aw. Like if mid speech he got crushed. Yeah, but that to me that is such a modern buddy cop villain murder. That's what I would expect in a, say, Shanghai Nights style movie where someone pops up with a rocket launcher and blows up your villain over the Thames. Which wouldn't that be a disappointing way to end a fucking kung fu movie?
Or an episode of Gotham.
Oh no, really?
I just told you.
Oh yeah, you did. Holy shit. Oh, well, but that was the hero.
No, the Penguin and his goons show up with a rocket launcher and kill the villain. They're like,
"Oh right, because
you owe us
really
one."
A villain. That's right.
Yeah.
I forget that he's because in the third game he's working with Batman.
Third game.
Yeah. Anyway, that's beside the point. Anyway, I think this movie is really fun.
And I'm fine with it, and Ryan hates it. So
yeah, but he's
whole
really
spectrum right
he was really tired. I'll make him watch it in a few months, and he'll be like, "Oh yeah, this is really fun."
I'm not going to watch this movie again. Because you know what's going to happen?
This or Independence Day Resurgence.
Oh, I understand you not liking Independence Day Resurgence because that's a bad movie that's fun. Whereas this is a really decent, well-structured movie that is really fun. Like these characters are enjoyable.
I like Chris Pratt.
Yeah, dude, how about that sequel? Oh man, yeah. He has a terrible last line though. Like he should have just not said anything.
The One-Eyed Jacks thing.
Yeah, I've always been lucky with One-Eyed Jacks. I'm like,
yeah, that's fine.
I think that one was forced. Whereas if he had just sat up and thrown the dynamite, you'd be like, oh, good for you.
My problem, I was fine with the line. My problem was everyone else in town dies from one-hit kills, but Chris Pratt gets shot over and over and over again. But he's fine.
No. Vincent D'Onofrio gets hit with 3 different arrows.
Yeah,
and of course he's also a fucking bear man. So
yeah.
He's supposed to be burly. You're right. Okay. Yeah.
I know. When you see Chris Pratt next to everybody else, he's super ripped.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, wow,
yeah.
he's
he's got them Star-Lord muscles going on under there.
Who? Star-Lord.
Yeah. And I think the half James Horner score is pretty good.
Why didn't he finish it?
He died in a plane crash, Ryan.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
But all he had to do was adapt the original score. So.
Oh no, the song doesn't really come up until the end. Until the credits.
No, it's littered throughout.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Even when it's just the Magnificent Four, it's playing through the.
Oh, you're right. In those,
yeah.
Yeah, but not during the
when they go to
not the
another saloon with hookers in it.
Okay, the reason why that's in all Western movies.
Hey guys, let's repurpose this set real fast.
No, I literally had a moment when that scene first started, when Denzel first shows up, where I was like, "Oh, cool! This is a different shot of a differently designed Western bar." Because the bar is in a different place, the way that shot is framed, it's not the exact same shot that I see in every other Western.
And the director's whoa, hang on, guys. Move the piano player to the right side. He was on the left side in the last bar.
I actively disagree with you because I had that thought in the theater when that shot happened where I was like, oh, this bar looks different than other Western movies. That's cool. You didn't just go use the bar from Deadwood.
So remember, he met Chris Pratt at a bar at the beginning, and then they fought at a bar in the middle, and then they fought in another bar at the end. Just saying.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of...
Yes, but you were saying that there's multiple times where they shoot a guy on the stairs and there's a whore that goes, ah! I think that only happens once.
No, I said there's multiple times when they shoot a guy and a whore runs away.
Just that they shoot a guy, and to be fair, I think that you are being unfair to women in scantily clad clothes, and that you shouldn't be so sexist and call them all whores.
Sure.
Okay,
I'll-
they
I'll
might
give you
just
that.
be ladies in Western
Wearing
clothes.
corsets outside.
Yeah.
Without any clothes. And I mean, I'm pretty sure that in the 1800s, women didn't wear super low cut things, so their boobs are always hanging out. I'm just saying.
I don't think you're right. I don't think you're right.
Only the main girl who's like a rebel. All the other towns women
Is she a
covered
rebel?
up.
Yeah, I think
She's in church wearing that.
I don't know.
Just saying.
She was in Hardcore Henry. That lady.
She was. She's in a lot of
Was
things.
that her?
now.
Yeah.
Actually familiar.
Hardcore Henry is an actual dumpster fire of a film.
Yeah, it's not as bad as Hardcore Henry.
Wow.
It probably goes for me. Independence Day, Hardcore Henry.
Wow.
Magnificent Seven.
I have to think
Terrible.
about it.
Terrible. I cannot believe. Oh, my
No, wait.
goodness.
So you're actually going to put Magnificent Seven below Independence Day?
No,
No.
Independence
Bottom
Day
was
is still the
Independence
worst.
Day, yeah.
Okay.
Because remember in Independence Day when they're driving a tugboat into a tidal wave? I do.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. Remember the entire subplot about Jeff Goldblum's dad driving a bus full of children towards a giant alien?
Well, you got to
that
set
was
up the
dumb.
climax. There's got to be a reason for that bus to
Hey,
be there.
yeah, we need a small set for Jeff Goldblum to hang out in while big CG action happens around him. Come on.
And the only thing I could think about is like, man, this movie needs Will Smith. Probably the first and last time I'll ever think of that.
Oh, come on. Now you're talking shit about Will Smith. Will Smith has been really great. He also makes bad movies. But Will Smith can
What's the
make
last
great
good movie
movies.
he is in?
I don't want to talk about it. That's not the name of the film.
Independence Day?
No. Come now, you are being a poopy pants.
Concussion.
Jersey Girl?
Yeah, I hear you won an Oscar for Concussion. Yeah,
What was the last movie he was good in? He was good in he was good in Focus.
yeah.
Oh,
And
Suicide
that's
Squad.
only in a year.
Suicide Squad.
Fuck off.
He's awesome in Suicide Squad.
No, he's not. He's just in Suicide Squad.
You don't own me.
That's not his song.
My favorite movie of the year, Suicide Squad. That is how you write a lot of characters into an action movie.
My God, I hate you
In a
so
way,
much.
they're like a Suicidal Seven.
I am like I want to throw up all over you, like physically.
The only thing that Suicide Squad is missing is some like weird Cajun guy quoting the Bible while he's being shot by arrows, and then
I don't think he's Cajun.
I think
He's just a mountain man.
Don't they say he's Cajun?
No, I think he's just a mountain man.
He's a mountain man.
I thought they said he was Cajun at one point.
Nope. He's a mountain man with a voice that doesn't match with like that isn't the same voice every other person who plays a mountain man would use.
His intro's cool.
Oh yeah. Where he kills those two dudes who are like, oh yeah, we totally killed that guy. Man, he's super dead.
I have the rest of my property, right?
Oh yeah. You guys
Give me
are gonna
signing.
fight me for my stuff, are you? Oh man.
Anyways, next week
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck we're gonna see. It's all shit.
Whoa, man, what is it?
It's Deepwater Horizon,
Garbage,
Miss
not-
Peregrine's peculiar fucking Tim Burton shit, and I don't know what else.
Well, maybe I'll just go see Magnificent Seven again.
You'd waste your money.
No, I'll have a great time because it's a super solid
The
flick.
Dressmaker,
Into the mic.
the Queen of Catway.
Queen of Catway.
It's like some
don't even-
chess. It's like a Disney
Good God.
chess. Yeah,
Wait, Masterminds.
or Masterminds.
I would go see Masterminds.
Did you see
That
Zach
might be fun.
Galifianakis Between Two Ferns with Hillary Clinton? It was
Yeah,
really,
that was
it was
really-
really funny.
That was really good.
So, if I'm going to contact you, just send you an email. You've got mail.
Yeah, I definitely am not saying Deepwater Horizon. We can go see American Honey. Watch Shia LaBeouf be weird.
Nope.
Yeah, that's how I feel too.
I'd rather see Masterminds.
Yeah, let's go see Masterminds. Why not?
All right. Until next week when Ryan will be right again. Bye.
No. Bye.
Yeah.
No.
Man, we haven't fought like this since Hunger Games.
I know. Yeah, well, it's because you haven't been this wrong since Hunger Games.
Real Nerds is a Nebulous Visions multimedia production. We would also like to thank Sparks Mandrell for our music. Additional music from Ben Sounds. Thank you to Alamo Drafthouse. Thank you to Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics. And thank you for listening to the Real Nerds Podcast.